Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 9317 Southwest West Haven Drive here in Portland. We are located in the basement area of the original footprint of the house, not the addition part of it. Right up against the what would have been probably the original exterior foundation wall. So we're sitting straight out from the base of the staircase, going into a full-range cast iron cleanout. We do not have any water flow on this part of the house right now, but we are running water currently from the addition portion of the house. I can hear the water running, so we'll see that here momentarily. Anyway. Unfortunately, there's just not, I'm hoping that doesn't hinder our ability to get out, not having water flow back in here. But that's about the only main issue with that currently. That and cobwebs. Good heavens, look at all those. I may have to pull the, ooh darn, you have got roots underneath the house. They built the dang addition on top of concrete pipe. That is something you do not want to do. I can pretty much guarantee you, this is where I really wish we had water flow. I can about guarantee you if you ran light volume water right now, you would see it disappear right to that pipe joint. That concrete flow line is very, very rough, and I can promise you it's porous. Water would probably escape right through the pipe bottom there. Not in good shape. Like, that joint right there is wide open to the ground. In fact, if you ran higher volume water, I'll bet you most of it wouldn't even make it down line. Not until you ran enough water there to saturate the ground completely and allow the water to overwhelm those areas. But what you can do is get the water moving at some point and make sure this at least has good slope and grade. And you may be able to epoxy line this and do it trenchlessly. That way you can avoid having to go and do some really awkward repair work. But this, that part of the line there, I can't really tell what's on the other side of this wall. If it's crawl space or something like that, it may not be that bad of a deal. But I have a sneaking suspicion it's going to be very deep and a very awkward spot to get to. Anyway, we swapped over to ABS pipe there a moment ago. A little bit of standing water we just went through. And this part of the line here, if it hasn't seen water flow go through it in a long time, that's the other concern. Is that if a pipe sits for too long, let's say for instance it's got a belly in it under normal circumstances, water can evaporate out of these pipes if they sit for too long without water going through them. Airflow is a constant thing that moves through sewer pipes, and so that's one thing that can occur. You could have a belly in the line and not even realize it's there because the water is evaporated out of the line. So we just swapped over to 3034 PVC. A little bit of an offset joint there. It's looking pretty minor thus far. We'll take a second look at that on the way out. And that right there would appear to be the main lateral connection. It's a much shorter line than I thought. This line may actually terminate somewhere on property, or maybe an easement for a main. I expected this to be a bit longer than that, but we'll see. We're going to go locate really quick here while the pipe drains out. Alrighty, so I'm going to describe this as if you're standing in the street facing into the property. I haven't figured out, it looks like the line punches out the left side of the house. That's basically, if you're calling the side of the home that faces out to the road, the front of the house, that's how I'm orienting. The line goes over, there's a neighbor's big, huge flag lot driveway to the left of this property, and there is a manhole in it. It looks like the city ran a main up and down that driveway. You'll want to check title for easement documents. But that looks like there's a main there. And I didn't want to paint the heck out of their driveway. If you walk halfway up the driveway, pretty much right in the middle of the driveway, there's also, coming off this property, there is a fence that runs to the neighbor's fence line and intersects with it. The sewer line is almost perfectly in line with that piece of fencing, but you'll see a small green dot on the asphalt. And it's a dry day today, that green dot should last. The offset here, let's see. You've got one little stringy thing coming off that pipe joint. But what it looks like more so than anything, I think it's some kind of debris. when I follow that little stringy thing back there, I don't see it obviously punching through the pipe joint. It looks like it's caught on the edge of it to me. I'm also not seeing any secondary signs of an open joint. I don't see any obvious dirt standing on the sidewall, any earthworms crawling around. Nothing else that indicates that that joint is open. I've also busted about 10,000 cobwebs loose. In fact, I've got one stuck to my dang camera lens right now. Let's see if we can get that thing to pop loose. Anyway, the offset is very minor. And from what I can tell, it looks like you just have some debris caught on the pipe joint there. In fact, let's see if yeah, whatever it is gone now. Roots are very strong, even small ones. They don't break loose that easily from just a camera. Woohoo. Let's see if we can keep it that way. Anyway, I'll notate the offset here. The offset's very minor. It's between about 1/4 and 1/2 of an inch. And again, the stringy item is gone now. It looks like it was just a cobweb or some kind of debris that went down the line. But the offset is way too small to cause flow problems on its own. I mean, if you're blocking up on that joint, whatever you put down the line is so large it would block everywhere else too. Anyway, a little bit of water still trickling to the line here. That's not standing water there. I'll go kind of slow here for a second until it drains off just to make sure of that, but didn't notice any obvious standing water on the way out either. And the updated part of the line is superbly clean. It looks fantastic. That's precisely how you want your line to look right there. That's the sign of a house that has not been putting cooking oil and grease down the line. There's where the toilet ties in. That's the master bathroom toilet I flushed there. And then this section of pipe is dry. We haven't been able to get water to go through it. So this part I can only check so effectively without water flow going.
Yo, what's that?
There's a little bit of wetness to it, which is a good sign.
Yeah, Jeff's still down here. Let's all go power out.
tank there.
I highly recommend this piece of pipe here to be updated.
So is this the main that comes
It's
in?
blasted with
after
roots
that
and it's
shut off?
wide
No,
open to the
it's gotta be
ground,
another shot.
every inch of it.
Yeah.